This is Derek Chamblee, broadcasting from Chamblee, Atlanta, the next great American city, Battleground Zero, the epicenter of the 2017 civil defense of the United States of America. And this is Derek Chamblee, CYBERCITIZEN Network. It's winding up on a few minutes after 5, winding up on 5:30 p.m. This early evening. Thursday, June 29th, 2017. We're following some breaking news. This in just a few minutes ago from the WashingtonPost.com, Energy and Environment, the headline, Trump says the Atlantic Arctic could soon be open to oil drilling by Daryl Fears. And very interesting, we'll start at the top. The White House is making a bid to overturn the Obama administration's 5-year plan, forbidding oil and gas exploration in the Arctic and Atlantic Oceans, and will examine opportunities to drill almost anywhere off the U.S. coast. Interior Department officials said Thursday that opening most of the outer continental shelf to leasing is part of President Trump's strategy to make the United States a global leader in energy production, stimulate coastal activity, and create thousands of jobs. But as onshore oil and natural gas production have surged from horizontal drilling, helping to lower the price of petroleum, interest in offshore drilling has fallen. And the article goes on, a barrel of petroleum sells for less than $45. This is $45 a barrel right now. And many oil companies balk at the massive investment in equipment needed to drill offshore when the price is lower than $85. That's per barrel, analysts say. Now, Vincent DeVito, Interior's Counselor for Energy Policy, said a review will start Monday with a request for public comment in the Federal Register. Oh my. And goes on in the article, skipping down a little bit, Royal Dutch Shell suspended drilling in the Arctic about 2 years ago when its oil exploration there produced a dry hole. The company said the result didn't justify the massive risks and expense of drilling in the environmentally sensitive Arctic frontier. And now this, if you couple this, I will go on. DeVito said the Obama administration's plan to keep 90% of the outer continental shelf off limits isn't feasible given a recent Trump administration analysis showing oil production there could create 300,000 jobs. Well, at any rate, as far as drilling in the Arctic, in advance of next week's meeting, the G20 summit in Germany, next week's meeting between President Donald Trump and President Putin of Russia, Trump has ordered his staff to come up with things he can offer and give away to Putin. And as far as drilling oil in the Arctic and dividing up the Arctic interest between the United States and Russia, there's a lot there to give away to Putin. And we mentioned in another release regarding the war over the Kurds' oil in Syria, Iraq, Turkey, the war over the oil of the Kurdish tribal land, the Kurds, and the role of Secretary of State Tillerson, that he might as well be called Secretary of Global Oil. And really what President Trump is dealing with here is a follow-up to the deal with U.S. Florida Senator Marco Rubio. As far as the oil drilling in the Gulf of Mexico, which is divided up. Mexico has the government of Mexico has some rich oil areas there, and also Cuba has some rich oil areas there that they're drilling near the Florida coastline. And of course, there is the offshore possibilities off the shores of Florida in the Atlantic that the other U.S. senator from Florida, the Democratic Senator Bill Nelson, is totally opposed to the offshore drilling because it would ruin the Florida beaches. And as we know, President Donald Trump did not win the electoral votes of the state of California, and he's considering perhaps drilling for oil more drilling off the Pacific coast there of the state of California. And they're very much, the governor of the state of California right now, Jerry Brown, is very much, and the people of California for the most part, very much against any more oil drilling there. Why? Because it ruins their beaches. At any rate, this is Derek Chamblee broadcasting from Chamblee, Atlanta. And it's also the seat of the 6th Congressional District of Georgia and the newly elected congressperson, Karen Handel, and also the seat of the 5th Congressional District of Georgia, our Congressman John Lewis, who our current president says is all talk and no action. This is Derek Chamblee. It's been raining off and on here in Chamblee, Atlanta. Seems like it's starting to clear up now. It's running on 5:30, Thursday, June 29, 2017. Secretary of Global Oil, Tillerson. Oh my.